Hey, what's up? It's the Playmaker, and welcome to another episode of Code Red. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We got a very special guest in the building. KADO, what's up?
What it do?
Ain't nothing to it, man. How you doing?
I'm alright.
That's good, man. I want to ask you a couple questions. Is that cool?
That's what's up. Let's do it.
Well, let's get right to it. You have an interesting way of spelling your name.
For sure.
It's KADO. Yeah. But when I think of KADO, I think of a whole different way to spell it. Okay. I mean, how do you spell it?
Well, first of all, my name B1G KADO. So, like coming up, niggas used to have hoop dreams. You want to hoop. So, like our little region, our area is the Big Ten conference. So, I always had hoop dreams. So, when we got older and I'm working, I'm like 5'5", so I can't really hoop. Like a hoop, but I can't dunk. You gotta dunk to go to the NBA or some shit like that. But so I'm also from 10th and center. That's the bottom. You know what I mean? So I just combined them two in B1G, like the Big Ten emblem, and KADO, KADO, Big Ten KADO.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a different way of spelling it, but since you broke it down to the people, Big Ten KADO.
Yep.
Man, what's life was growing up on Center Street?
They call Center Street the center of attention. That's COA. That's, right smack in the middle. My auntie call it the West Side. Big baby call it the West Side.
So is it the West Side?
So they say like back in the, I don't know, what was the 60s after the segregation, I guess the map was switched or something so that it, I guess from Wisconsin to on 3rd Street from 3rd to Tatonia was considered the west side of Milwaukee. So.
Oh, okay. So
that's why I say West Center when you ride and see the green sign. I say West Center Street.
Okay. Well, where you really from? What side of town you really from there?
I'm really from the bottom. I'm really from 10th and Center.
10th and Center.
That's where
okay.
I'm really from.
That's not far from the bridge connecting the west to the east, right?
Now it's different because people consider the west side towards like more past Hampton area.
Okay.
So now they got us labeled as like we on the bottom end, like the low end.
So is that considered north side?
Yeah, I would consider it the north side, the bottom of the north side, the bottom end of it. Yeah, we were at the bottom.
Okay, so tell me about what it was like growing up over there.
It's probably like growing up on every other hood, if you want to be honest with you. We was blessed to have people around us that paved the way for what we was doing. And we was blessed to have like our grandma. So we had like one specific spot that everybody, no matter where you at, you can come there and get you something to eat. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody has that, I'm sure, and they family, they got that, but like ours was just a little special, little bond we had. So it's like we gravitated towards that energy, and we was just rocking with it. Like we weren't never born. That's just like our grandma block. Our grandma been over there for like 60 years or something. So we just, that's the ghetto. That's home base for generations. Okay. Everybody, they know that.
So you come from a pretty tight knit family, you would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you find out that you had a love for music?
I was a kid, man. I remember being a kid watching the box, like Channel 7 or whatever, Channel 5 or 7 or something like that, 3 or something like 8. Yeah, okay. Something like that. Well, you can call in and order the video. You call in, your mama will give you a whooping. You call in, ordering that video, but niggas order that video. So around that time, like 6, 7 years old, I knew I liked the music. I was always listening to music. My granddad and them I just always listened to music, but it was a point in my life when I was a kid and I seen music, like what it could do for you, like being a real rapper, like round past and seeing a nigga on the van and like he got clothes and these people like real close to me and like I could see it happening for them people and it's just like inspiration to me. So like I always had people around me that I think I was really just born for this shit, for real.
So when would you say you took it seriously?
Probably about 6 months ago. Probably about About 6 to 8 months ago.
Okay, so what was life before music?
Life before music was trying to find a way out of the trap. That's what we was doing. Trying to find a way to get that paper. We
Okay.
come from a city where you ain't got no paper, man. It's a hit. You don't know what you got going on, but if you ain't got no paper, it's a hit.
So I take it that you kind of went through your stint of legal troubles and run-ins with the law that made you consider music over everything?
Yeah, I got to the point where I just kept getting locked up, going back and forth to jail, back and forth to jail. So I just got to a point where I had a baby. My people was getting older. I watched my brother and sister getting older. Our relationships ain't the same because I done been gone. So it's just like something I had to do. I knew I was good. I ain't good at too much other. So I just knew I had to do that. The only thing I could do is just, that's what I had to do. I was born for it.
Okay. Would you say it's hard to balance music and street life?
I think that's the hardest part about it. Because at the end of the day, you want to be authentic. So you want to really live what you're talking about. But sometimes that ain't the best thing to do. Well, not sometimes. That ain't the best thing to do in this game because you know how I go.
So how do you feel about rappers that talk the talk and you know in your heart they ain't walk the walk?
I feel like they rappers. They just rapping. They just, they rapping.
Okay, so what's the flip side of that?
The flip side of that is, some niggas rap. Some niggas good at words. Some niggas get this feeling in them that they don't know, it's just something that they can't urge. And some niggas just really them. The ones. That's just the difference. I can't really explain it. It's just, you gotta be in it. You gotta know. Like, you the playmaker. You know you make them plays. You know what I mean? There ain't no way around it.
That's a fact.
That's how you gotta do it. You know what I mean?
Recently, I've been hearing some of your music more now than ever. And you make some great songs.
Appreciate that.
What do you think that's missing in your connection with the people that love authentic street music?
Speaking for myself, I feel like the main thing I was missing, I don't know if I could call it confidence though, because I've always been a confident person. I don't think I lack no confidence. It's just, I guess I was blessed to be a part of two different generations where it's like, it wasn't cool to really just be on your phone putting, you know what I'm saying? And now that's just really what you got to do to be successful in this game. So I guess it would be me engaging more with that phone and being in front of the camera more and just letting people into my life. I'm just a private person. I've been through a lot. You know what I mean? It just, sometimes you got to move like that. But yeah, I think it's just getting in front of the camera.
So are you ready to tell your story to the world? Are you ready to bear it all on your music, from the things that you've been through, the trauma that you've been through, the time you did?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I was born for it, but you still gotta step up to the plate. And sometimes when you be in that position to be chosen, you will run from it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you run from it because you just don't know what's on the other side. But you gotta look around and see your people looking at you like you the one. Like, you gotta go. They wait for you to jump. You telling them, come on, let's jump. They like, no, you gotta jump. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. So in a sense, you really didn't choose music. Music kind of chose you.
I feel like this life just chose me, period. Like,
Okay.
I really ain't had, I would have chose to be, the next Allen Iverson or something. I would have chose to be, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. So why should the people tune into your music? What makes B1G KADO special, or could be my favorite artist?
Because we're going to do it the right way, man. We're going to do good business. We lead it in the right way, man. Big love, and we taking over. It's the big love movement. You got to lead with love. All that sucker shit, you got to keep it at home, man. And when you do that, you get that same energy.
Okay. Speaking of big love, that's your current movement that you're pushing. Can you tell the people more about that?
So Big Love is a movement that me and my comrades came up with. And it's just about, you know what I mean? First of all, you can never judge a person because of what you think they don't got or what they do got. You know what I mean? And most people lead with ulterior motives. They be having stuff going on in they vocabulary and they brain or they way of thinking about how they gonna do what they gonna do and bust they move. So, you know, when it be like that, you gotta learn to differentiate that when you lead with a group of people that lead like that, like just, you know what I mean? It's just like we righteous, we gonna do the right thing. Then, you know, then that's where you get that love. That's where you get that respect and that love coming. It's just like it's a powerful movement. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing when it's really like that. Like so, that's where it is. That's really what it's. That's the essence of it. But really, like it's just it's big love though.
So everybody gonna be screaming big love this summer, huh?
Yeah, that's what's going on.
The
man.
campaign, the movement, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I can dig that.
When you say you dig that, you got to say that.
Say that.
I see a lot of people taking my, you know what I mean? I ain't going to say nothing, though. You know, I'll be watching. I'll be seeing y'all.
So the authenticity of rap music, how do you feel about that? Do you think it's more real rap out there or more people just putting words together, pretending to be something they not?
That's a good question. Right now, I think it's at an all-time high where that shit just really real rap. And you could tell because niggas is getting knocked. It's too real right now. So, yeah. But, you know, it's always opposites. You know, you got them niggas who playing crazy. Yeah, you can tell. But, you know, yeah. So, I think that it's at an all-time high right now. Higher. If it ain't at an all-time high, it's higher than it ever been since the 90s. But then you think about that, them wasn't like really, like right now, it's like that.
So you bring something different and special to the table.
Oh, yeah, this right here, you just got to sit back and watch, baby. This it.
Well, you know, the difference between sitting back and watching and making me feel a part of the movement is two different things.
I can dig it.
So how would you get me to be a part of the movement that you're doing?
So the only thing I would be able to tell you is be open-minded and lead with love. You do that, it's going to attract to you, man. You ain't got to do nothing. Just be righteous. And the righteous people going to come to you. And when the righteous people come to you, you're going to know they righteous by the way they handle themselves.
Okay.
And the way you be a part of that movement is just being you, authentic. Just
Well,
be you.
You know, in a world full of fakes, it's hard to be real.
Say that.
How do you maintain the realness when it could be somebody, some of your closest friends, relatives that you done been through different situations with that did something that was fake?
Mm-hmm.
How do you remain real?
I always tell people like, man, you can't let a nigga make you be a sucker, man. You know what I mean? If I'm a player, man, I ain't gonna let no nigga rub off on me, man. Like me no sucker, man. So you know what I mean? Because if somebody do something to you, you know what I mean? It ain't for you to step out your character to try to do something back to them.
But sometimes it be the closest people to you. Like, I never believed in magic until I saw my dog turn into a snake.
That's the coldest game, ain't it? But see, it's like them losses don't be losses, they be lessons.
Valuable
You know what I'm saying? The biggest ones though. The biggest love though. So even when it hurt, it's still love though. You know what I mean? At the end, you still gonna come back to love. It's still gonna be love because I'm gonna remember that, and I'm gonna grow from that. As long as I know it's a lesson, I'm gonna grow from it. So
okay. In your early days, you did music with Flash Gang, right?
no,
You didn't?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I know a couple of them guys, but
Okay.
I ain't particularly Mikey or nothing like that. I don't want to name drop, but no, I ain't do no songs with nobody. No.
Okay. Because that's where I first heard your name mentioned in circles of music.
Okay. Yeah, I can dig it.
So I thought that collaborative effort as far as music.
I can dig it.
Okay. So the Big Ten movement, is that all family?
I think we related by respect. I mean, we move by respect. The blood that's just a DNA. You know what I mean? Like you said, it'd be the closest ones to you that do it to you. Your
Yeah,
dog will turn snake. So, I mean, if respect bring everything. Respect, respect, respect. Love, love, love. So, you know what I mean? You got to move like that.
I remember you had quite a scare a couple years back. You had got shot, and how did the trauma affect you?
It made me more attentive. Made me look at people different because, like you said, sometimes it be the same one. You know what I mean? So it just be like it just make you move all the way different. It just live that part.
Yeah,
It ain't
believe it
something
or not, man, it's always somebody closest to you behind the plot.
that
You know, a stranger is going to be probably the last person to try to test you.
man, it's crazy, ain't
Yeah.
it?
Okay. Well, through all that you've been through, what's the one thing that you learned from your journey that really affected you the most?
You can't bring everybody with you,
That's a fact.
and it's a double-edged sword because sometimes you got to cut your finger off to save your hand, but you still gonna miss your finger like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
So, how do you pick and choose? I mean, do they just fall to the wayside on their own? You cut them off. And the most important part, when they realize that they messed up, do you accept them back?
Okay. Somebody wise once told me, sometimes the best thing to do is just let go.
That's
And
the hardest
whatever,
thing to do, though.
it's the hardest. And that's why I be the best. So you got to work for it. You got to work. Nothing come without work. So the hardest work gonna be the best in the end. You know, anything that ain't meant for you to be in your life is gonna remove itself. You don't even got to do nothing. They're gonna do it to themselves. So when you see that happen, then that's where you become like God, really. Because God forgive, I don't. Or you could be like God and say, I forgive you. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you face with that situation or that opportunity right there, it just depends on who you are as a person.
Okay. So who is Kato Big Ten?
Okay, that Big Ten, what you gotta be more specific.
Well, we was just talking about a
I'm
particular
not gonna
subject.
forgive. I'm not gonna forgive you. I'm not gonna forget, but I'm gonna forgive you.
Okay, because I was just about to say that's contradictory to
Yeah,
the Big Love movement.
yeah, yeah. I gotta make sure I say it right. I'm gonna
Okay.
say anything.
Okay.
For
Because the
sure.
Big Love movement, man, is
For sure.
I feel would be one of them things where, you know, I ain't got to deal with you, but it's still all love.
For sure.
It
The
sounds like
biggest.
a movement of positivity. It sounds like a movement of growth,
For sure.
you know. And everybody can't go on a ride. That was one of the realest things you said. And I can relate to that. Everybody's journey is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that moving forward with the Big Love movement, I think it's something that's much needed.
For sure. Especially around the times right now, man. It just seems like it ain't no love out
It ain't no love.
here. For sure.
It ain't no love.
For sure, for sure. So you gotta get
Okay,
on the road.
so we got the new movement coming up. Let's talk about the music that's gonna help catapult this movement.
Okay. Well, I got a tape out right now called Grits. Area real street, real dreams to get rich in the streets. You know what I mean? So that's what the grits is.
Okay.
Sometimes we use the grits to do what we do, but you know, sometimes it sell itself, so you ain't gotta do much, but you still gotta grit. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got a tape right now called Grits. Y'all go check that out on our platforms.
How
But
many songs is it?
it's about 7 songs on there.
7 bangers?
7 bangers, no skip. You
Okay.
know, just let it ride.
Let it ride.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if the people was looking for you, where can they find you? Besides Low end Big 10.
Or you can find me on all platforms if you're trying to listen to that music. Everywhere you can stream music at, you can just stream it. Big 10 KADO, capital B1G KADO, KADO, Big K, KADO, Big 10. Big
Okay.
10 shit, say that. And then you can find me on social media, Instagram. It's Big KADO _10 Center Street. Facebook is Being Men Blues Brothers. That's where you can find me at.
All right. Well, man, it's always a treat when we meet, man.
Always
It's
a treat with
always a
bosses.
pleasure for us to talk, man.
I can dig
Hey,
it.
we done had Big 10 KADO on the couch with us today, and he dropped some real jewels and gems.
Hey, let's go.
Code Red. Where there's smoke, there's fire.